Welcome to SpotLight, the podcast that lifts the curtain on life here at the Grand Theatre in Wolverhampton. I'm Sandhu.
And I'm Scott Bird. And today we are joined by some very special guests. It's a pleasure to introduce some people who are regular fixtures at our memory cafes here at the Grand. We've got artist Sohan Kailey.
Hello.
And I'm so pleased to say she's a dear friend. I've known her for such a long time. She does brilliant stuff here at the Grand, but within the wider community. Dancer, former teacher, she does it all. It's Roshni Pink.
Oh, hello guys.
Hello. How are you both?
Very good, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, well, we're here at the Grand Theatre as part of South Asian Heritage Month. You've both been involved in what's been going on across these jam-packed 2 days. So I'm going to come to you because you've had a really busy morning. Tell us what you've been doing today.
We've been doing lots of Bhangra bouncing. Yeah.
And that's what we know you for, right? You are this bundle of energy and joy, but predominantly you teach Bhangra to all ages of kids,
That's right, yeah. So today we're here for South Asian Heritage Month here at the Grand Theatre and doing Bhangra bounce and storytelling, taking children and their grown-ups on a magical journey from the Punjab, India to Wolverhampton. It's a wonderful story about the Bhangra bunny, little glove puppet, and how their journey begins with farmer Sohan. Somebody decides to dig their land and they have to move and go around India, and then they find a place called Wolverhampton all the way in England in the Black Country.
Oh, what a place to find, eh? What a place to find.
So Bhangra Bunny has bounced pretty far.
That's right, yeah. So we're spreading the seeds across the Black Country, Wolverhampton. And all the children were joining in, they're having so much fun, interacting with the storytelling aspect of it and doing the movements and singing to Bhangra Rave. Wave, wave, wave your hands, Bhangra in the fields, let's all dance. Move the chickens out the way, let's all come out to play.
I feel like we're in a class.
I
feel like we're in a starting class.
Yeah, in
if
fact,
it wasn't so hot in here, I'd say we'd join in.
We'd be dancing along with the bunny. Presumably the bunny is resting now after
so much carrots now, sleeping.
But I got to see probably about only 5 minutes of this fabulous workshop this morning, and already, just to see everyone kind of bouncing around and enjoying. But what struck me most was not only the sort of broad age of these young children, but not just from the South Asian community. There was lots of people here to join in and maybe learn about the South Asian community, South Asian Heritage Month, or maybe just understand a little bit more about their friends at school or their neighbours, and get to really understand the culture of their many friends, and that was so great.
Well, that's what the story was really about, the unsettlement, about what my grandparents and parents would have faced back in the 1940s in India, especially with the partition and everything of Punjab. But it was done in a very friendly kind of a humorous sort of way, and a very heartwarming story where, the Bhangra bunny would, or the farmers, how they would work in the Punjab, cultivate the lands, sow the seeds, and then they come all the way to England in Wolverhampton and spread the seeds, and the joyous celebration of how we celebrate and how we educate and have lots of fun.
And you did it in a really accessible way there.
Thank you very much.
With a really important underlying message that I think a lot of us will understand. But it was done in a really fun way.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Roshni, welcome. It's lovely to have you. For those people that haven't heard of Roshni Pink, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Like you introduced, I do quite a bit. So I used to be a teacher, but before that I have always done Bollywood dancing. So I used to teach Roshni's Academy of Dance, taught, and now I'm out of schools, but now I am hosting events, I'm hosting exhibitions, I'm creating content. I don't want to call myself an influencer, but people think I'm now an influencer as well now, sharing.
Which is a thing to be. Yeah.
And alongside all of that, I'm also an IT professional and a mother of 2 small children.
I just want to know how she juggles all of that. And you do a lot here at the Grand Theatre, don't you? And tell us a little bit about the work you do here.
So tomorrow, the event that I'm going to put on is something called the Memory Cafe. It's something that's actually really, really close to my heart. I did one a couple of months ago, and to be honest, in my career as Roshni Pink, this has got to be one of the most meaningful projects that I have done. So what I'm going to be doing is taking the dementia community back through their childhood, bring back memories of growing up back home in India or wherever they've come from, take them through familiar tastes, take them through familiar smells, places. We'll be doing activities, not just physical activities, doing a bit of relaxation activities, yoga. We'll be getting them up to do some upbeat Bollywood routines as well as some really calming activities. Last time what I did was I got them to draw their handprint and fill the handprint with memorable sort of dates or names that they could recall. And to be honest, it was so heartwarming to see the memories that they were able to bring back with just that jog of, you know, the pictures that I was sharing and flags that I was sharing, or tastes or songs that we were playing, how they were able to just sort of recollect past memories. And it was really touching. At the end, we played the Indian national anthem, and we had so many of them in tears, myself included, and it was just so special. And I think through this work, what I want to do on my own platforms is raise awareness actually of dementia within the Asian communities, because it's such a still, and it's a shame to say this, but it's still such a taboo topic in Asian families. I know years ago, you know, if you had an illness like this or an elderly with an illness like this, you'd want to hide it, push it under the carpet and not really talk about it. But by doing that, you're not helping anyone, you're not helping the individuals, and you're not helping the family around them. So through the work, what I want to do is raise that awareness. You know, we create this safe space here for families and the individuals to come and celebrate. Actually, it's not a disability, it's not an issue. It's actually a time to come together and celebrate. And what we try and do through these sessions is bring that joy back to the community on their past, and move forward, you know, and recollect their memories, educate families. And that's what I really want to do, which is create this taboo as not a taboo, but actually, you know, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it as a community. Let's celebrate, let's help, and let's support. Yeah.
It's so important, really, that this work happens, because you can live well with dementia.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily, you know, a lot of people come to us here at the Grand and go, when we got the diagnosis, when my husband or my wife got the diagnosis, we thought that was it was over. But the amount of people that come in through the doors, and yes, times are hard, especially at home or whatever, and there might be struggles, but they come through the door and all of that just sort of melts away.
It does.
And I think that's why it's so important not to disrespect the power of the arts. You know, people think maybe they sort of push the arts aside a little bit because it's just seen as a bit of fun or a bit of non-important tat or entertainment, you know, that just doesn't really matter. But this is where it really matters. And the work that you're both doing at these memory cafes is so important.
And I think you hit it on the head there with it's not just entertainment value. As a teacher, I bring elements of education into it as well. So we're not just getting up and doing activities. I actually put activities in there that help that cognitive thinking, that help that reflection on bringing back memories, and a path through sort of education. And it's really touching. It's so nice to be able to give back to the community in this way. And honestly, it's one of the most meaningful projects. I don't know about for you, but Sohan, like, I really enjoy them as well.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, my grandmother recently, you know, she passed, and the last memories was that she was dementia, and all the memories came back, all the weddings that she used to be like the first one who'd get up and dance.
Do you know
with
what?
the clapping and everything.
It's funny you say that, because my grandma's dealing with that at the moment, and I think, like I said, it's taboo, and at the start we didn't actually know what it was. As a family, we didn't know, you know, we just knew of the word, we didn't know what to expect. And my grandma, we know the elder, you know, the women, they're quite strong.
That's right.
They're powerful women, you know, they're very independent. And then to see them go through this, it's quite difficult. It's difficult for the family as much as it is for them, because we're not sure how to deal with it or how to respond to it. And I think, you know, bring them along to the sessions, because it's just so nice to see them in a different light. So having platforms like this out there has been an eye-opener for me personally, actually.
I mean, the grandmothers, you know, they held the family together.
They are the backbone. I always say that women are the backbone of any like South Asian communities. They're like the unsung heroes, aren't they? And there's clearly both. You've got quite personal connections to the Memory Cafe as well. I'm keen to know what's been the reaction when you've seen those people come to the Memory Cafe from their family, from their friends as well. I know, Sohan, we were talking, you have regular people come every single week. What's the reaction?
Well,
like?
I mean, I think at first they're not quite sure what's going to happen, but I think the whole idea is, I mean, when I always bring like a box of treats for them. So this is magical box that I actually got from India. It was like a box of, I think there was the Indian sweets in there.
Did you bring some today?
I haven't. I haven't.
I think they'd have melted.
Yeah, it's got this ancient painting of Rajasthan on the elephants and horses and Maharajas and things, kings and queens. And I always show this to them and let's go on this journey. Yeah. And in the background we've got this authentic Indian music, flutes. It's almost like spiritual music that's playing. At first it's really gentle, and then we go on a train journey. We're in India, we're in the Punjab, we're in the Khet, in the farmlands, and they've got the wheat. They can hear the sounds of the wind, the farmers, the cattle, the cowbells. So they're from the Punjab or they're from Rajasthan, the sounds of the camels or whatever. And then we go into film scene. So we go into Indian cinema. The Raj Kapoor, Rishi Kapoor, this is like the Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers
real
era.
Icons.
That's right, yeah. And again, it's real for me because being a youngster watching Hollywood and Broadway musicals and classics, with my dad watching John Wayne on the telly, I could really reflect. And my mum and dad are in the audience as well. Because they live in isolation, so they want to come out as well. They'd be bored, they've got nothing else to do. They can see, and then for me, it's like, wow, this is my family as well with me.
Yeah.
It's real. So we're making a difference and making a change, and really bringing out, like what Roshni said, bringing different ideas and different concepts, and taking people on a journey. Another, I think, with my session, it sort of becomes more. It's a party. A journey, storytelling party, and then because we've got friends from the wider community coming, I'll play Bob Marley, I'll play Duran Duran, I'll play Wham, The Police, whatever I feel is happening at the moment, I'll play that and then swing it back and going back into the Indian music. I mean, just a few weeks ago I played Grease Lightning, and even the staff were coming running and because it's theatre, it's embracing theatre, embracing life. It was having a great time, just wonderful time, and even people they're crying as well. They're in tears.
I guess it's quite emotive, isn't it, Roshni? You said that first session for you was really memorable.
It was really memorable. We had people in tears, and I didn't expect that actually. When I first started, I didn't know what to expect, but seeing them in tears, seeing their family members in tears, watching them, and actually I remember we had a mother and daughter last time, and the daughter was so surprised that the mum was so well engaged, and she was actually able to recollect memories, and she said her mum doesn't usually do this. She's very reserved at home. She doesn't like to talk much, but she was so open with me. She was telling me about her favourite movies, her favourite songs. She was telling me about the family. She was able to recollect times with her husband and going to the Taj Mahal. I was taking them on a journey from when they went to school, how they grew up, and their favourite foods, favourite times of the year in India. And her daughter was so appreciative of the session as well, and it was just so nice to see that they were in tears and I was in tears. I really didn't know, I didn't expect that, but so special, And
this is why it's so important that we have these different types of memory cafe, because of course it started with, I think a lot of people think of a memory cafe and they think of maybe Vera Lynn and the wartime songs, and that's of course where our memory cafe started, and of course that serves a particular community and a particular age group, and it works so well. But then the reason why they're so successful is because of that nostalgic element to them. So we soon opened it to the Black African Caribbean community, which is like church, and everyone's singing the gospel songs and shaking tambourines. And then of course now we've developed those memory cafes with you, which is very important for the South Asian communities to remember everything that you've just said. So you can't just do one type of memory cafe, and I think any memory cafe is beneficial wherever it is, but the fact that we've got 3 or 4 different types of memory cafes now that we've been able to develop with such talented and enthusiastic and passionate people such as yourselves. I'm just going to say on behalf of the theatre that we're so thankful to you for helping us develop that, because it is magic, and
it's a great honour.
You say to watch it come alive, you say people come and they don't communicate at all, and then half an hour later They're reeling off.
We were having a rave last
Gosh,
time.
yeah.
We were all dancing to Bollywood songs. We had everyone, doing the hips. It's brilliant.
And it's so important because I think within the South Asian community, we still don't talk about our feelings enough, and we still don't talk about, our mental health enough.
Yeah.
And, we're, especially the women in the community, are taught to be strong and just to crack on. And, my mum especially is just the type to just crack on and just nothing really phases her. But actually, the music is the foundation of all of our cultures. We may all come from different communities, but music really brings us together. So, which is why I think the memory cafes are fantastic. You mentioned the Indian national anthem and like this focus on roots and the journey. The theme for this year for South Asian Heritage Month is roots to roots. And I'm just want to know, what does that mean to you when I say roots to both of you? What does it mean to you?
Wow, it's powerful. It's really powerful. I mean, our roots from Punjab, from Delhi, I always say my roots are here.
Were you born
Wolverhampton.
here?
I'm Wolverhampton,
Yeah.
Born and bred in Wolverhampton. My roots are here. I tell that to my kids now who are 15 and 14, two boys. They all say to me, Dad, so what are we? Are we Indian? Are we British? Are we English? Are we... So you're a bit of everything. This is who you are. Yes, there is the DNA of India is with you. The Punjab, that soil is there with you as well. But at the same time, we celebrate who we are. We're here in England. We're in Britain. And for myself, music and food and arts and culture, that's what sort of defines us as well. And our rich cultural heritage as well, being who we are and where we are. And we celebrate all that, We know that we're sort of different from other people as well. And we celebrate those. And we know, for example, where we're coming from and where we're going to go. Because if you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going to end up. So, and it's about having appreciation, knowing what things happened in history, and learning from those experiences so that we can travel forward. I think it's great, so meaningful, wonderful, love it.
For me, so when people ask me where are you from, I'm British, born and brought up in Wolverhampton, and if you were to ask me, who I am, I'm British. But a part of my heart is Indian, obviously. My family came from there. I've lived out in India, experienced the culture. And now I'm speaking as a mother. I feel like that connection to my roots has to be even stronger, because what I'm finding is as every generation comes along, we're losing a bit of that culture. I mean, for me, growing up, I grew up in an extended family, so we lived with my grandma, we lived with my great-grandma. We were always in this big-knit community. I knew the language, I can speak the language. Whereas my children, I feel that's a completely different experience for them. So through the work that I'm doing and through personal work that I do with my children on a daily basis, for me, it's all about preserving our culture, making sure that we carry it on to future generations as well, but along the way we're celebrating it. And we're not just celebrating it with our own, I want to celebrate it with everybody. It's nice to, I've got some really fun collaborations coming soon on my page with people that are not from the South Asian community, but who love to celebrate our culture. And I can't wait for that, because it's all about celebrating it with the whole community, with everybody around us, all of our friends, the white community, the African community, everybody. Who doesn't love a bit of Bollywood dancing? Or it's a nice icebreaker, and I am trying to celebrate it with everybody and involve everybody as well.
And that's why it's so special that the two of you are so heavily involved in our South Asian Heritage Month celebrations here at the Grand this month, of this year, shall I say, because actually whilst the term South Asian Heritage Month has been about for 6-7 years now and has been a national thing for that long, the celebrations haven't really been that national, especially not in Wolverhampton. And so that's why we teamed up with Jayvon Patel Company to make the Wolverhampton and Black Country celebrations here. So to have you two here helping us with those celebrations, and already, even though we've only just into it this tiny bit,
of course.
We've seen what you've just explained there, what you want to achieve with your work. We've already seen that happen today. Already, and this is just the first time we're doing it. So 5-10 years in the future, who knows? I guess it will have happened, and we will have achieved what we want to achieve, because within the first 5 minutes, we'd done that, and we were Bangor
That's
Bunny.
right,
And tomorrow you're going to be doing that in the memory cafe.
Yeah. I think it's great to celebrate, your cultures as well, because sometimes it's forgotten. A lot of the time, I mean, people ask me, when was the last time you went to India? Well, it was this morning, for example. Because I'm really there.
Yeah.
So when I'm doing my workshops in schools and I'm working with primary school children or any age, my sort of thinking is always there. Physically, I've been to India many times, Delhi and Punjab and Mumbai and whatever. It's such a great culture. Even for me though, it's quite alien, because it's like, wow, it's something completely different. But when you're there, you're accepting of it. It's like, wow, this is our DNA. This is what we thrive for, each and every day. Last week I was at the school working with year 9s in a secondary school. We were doing something called Bhangra Funk, which is Bhangra freestyle. How the music of black culture influenced Asian music, and especially Bhangra, rap and R&B, you see. And these were children who are from Somalian community, Yemenis and, Pakistani children. And they just threw me, because they were really into it, really in a great way, and really asking questions, And the same thing here with the older people as well, with the elders as well. Just watching their reactions on their faces is amazing, and bringing back those stories, and just seeing that reaction on their faces just makes wonders. You just can't put a grade on it.
No, and I think you touched on a really good point there about with your year 9s, they were they were, I guess, in a space where they could ask questions.
Yeah.
And we know why South Asian Heritage Month is so important, but actually there might be people that don't understand, because actually we're talking about Bhangra and Bollywood, but actually it's more than just that, isn't it? It's more than just celebrating, it's about educating. So I want to ask both of you, why is it so important that we do have a jam-packed schedule like we have across the 2 days, and why the Grand have been so brilliant to put on these events? Why is it so important?
Well, I think for many years, there's always been a stigma about theatre and the classes that go to theatre. I remember, obviously working in the arts for many years, it's in my blood to go out there and dance and sing and perform on stage and whatever. But I think representation is key. Everybody feels that they need to be represented. I strongly feel that the Asian community they want to stay at home. They want to watch the Sky TVs or whatever. Nothing wrong with it, the South Asian programs, but you've got to come out for your health and your well-being, and they have to be celebrated as well. It's so important, and as Roshni mentioned earlier, for the next generation, to celebrate our history, our cultures, our stories.
Yeah. For me, I feel it's important because I'm just going back to a personal experience. I want the youngsters to know, because a lot of them, you hear them say, oh, but we're not going to be able to make it, or we can't do it, we can't get into media because of who we are, where we come from. Not, sometimes you get it that they don't get the support from the family, but most of the time they think you can't do it. So this is going back some time now. I applied for something called Miss Black Country.
I'm really glad you mentioned this. Great.
So I applied for it, and I'd been doing a bit of modelling before that within the Asian community, but I always stuck to within the Asian community. I've always danced for the community. I've always done modelling for the community. I thought one day, let me step out of my comfort zone. It's actually very scary. I wasn't sure what people would think of me. I wasn't sure what people in my own community would think of me for a start. Anyway, I applied for this thing called Miss Black Country, which I didn't know anything about. Did the auditions, and then I got a phone call one day, you made it to the finals. I said, I made it to the finals. And I said to Mum, there's no way that I'm going to make it because we're brown. And I was like, who's going to let me be Miss Black Country? Anyway, I thought, okay, let's do it. Got to the morning, we did all the prep, got my outfits and everything ready. I'd done my hair and makeup, and about an hour before we were leaving, I said to Mum, we're not going, Mum. What is the point? I'm not going to win this thing, so we're not going. Let's not waste our day. I was quite deflated. I can't remember why I thought of that, but a lot was going through my mind. Anxiety, I had all sort of just thinking about everything, thinking of experiences at school, and I just thought, we're not going. And then Mum said, no, we're going. We've got your dress. You've got your hair done. You've done your makeup. We're going. So, okay. I thought, okay, we'll just have a good day out. It was at the Wolverhampton racecourse as well. And I thought, never seen the races. So, me and my mum thought, nice day out, have a bit of food and enjoy the races. Anyway, everybody was there. They'd all apparently rehearsed what they were going to say when they answered questions. Little old me back then, I had no idea about the pageant industry, had done no research about this at all. So when I got asked my questions, I was just sort of speaking as Roshni.
Yeah, probably being your authentic self.
Being my
actually.
authentic self. And then it was time to announce the winners. My mum was about a few feet away from me, and I could hear mumbling on the mic of what they were saying. But I was mumbling to my mum, going, you know, sort of saying, go over there. And then later I hear my mum go, it's you. I was like, huh? She goes, it's you. They're saying you. And I was like, no, it can't be. And I think that was a big moment for me. The realisation that I wasn't going to come, and I've now won this. And the thought that had changed. I went in with this thought that I'll never make it as a brown person. And actually being appreciated there for who I was. And it was so powerful. And I want the community to know that the youngsters out there, anything is possible. If you want to do something, do not let this take you a step back. I mean, you're a prime example, Amber, and it's just so nice to see youngsters doing something, using the opportunities that they're given to go forward and live their dreams. You're living your dreams, and it's lovely.
But I think you make a really good point, and you're super, super kind. But if you can see it, you can be it. And I think if every child can see somebody that looks like them that's Miss Black Country, or somebody on TV, or somebody on stage, you know, we've got Cinderella coming up. Do you know how many how many kids are going to watch that and feel like, gosh, I never considered the stage, but actually the Grand Theatre's made me feel like I could do that. And there's something so powerful in just seeing somebody that looks and sounds like you as well.
That's right. I mean, when I was growing up, all my uncles, we actually grew up in a house where there was 16 of us. You know, uncles and aunts, grandparents. That's how I knew the Punjabi language. And then my dad used to hire the video back in the 80s, early 80s, VHS, VCR, getting the old Amitabh Bachchan movies, you know, the Clint Eastwood of Indian cinema, and being in a household of Punjabi speaking, and then Hindi wasn't our language, but we spoke through watching Bollywood movies, and then through that, the music and the dancing and just watching Amitabh Bachchan movements and the hairstyle and everything else. I had hair back then. rock and roll. But you know what I'm saying is that it wasn't acceptable. You know, my grandfather I knew was very stern, very very strong. You know, and he said to my dad, you know, why is your son going into the arts? Why isn't he engineering or doing something else, mechanics? I was just never into that. I was into colouring, I was into paints and dancing and music, you know, and that was my real passion. That's what I always wanted to do. And now I can say to my children, you know, the media and the arts, anything you want to do, have a big scope for it.
That's great. And this theatre has always been for everyone, but you can't just say that, can you? Because you've got to make the change and be the change, and together you are. And hopefully this is, well, it is just the start of a really bright future for all of the communities to come together and celebrate and enjoy Wolverhampton. So thanks again for everything that you do. And it's a shame that we've run out of time, because that was a good chat.
We're going to chat for ages. Before we go, tell us where we can find the memory cafes and where we can get more information. If somebody's watching, where can we find more info?
The Memory Cafe, South Asian Memory Cafe, at the Wolverhampton Grand Theatre website.
Yeah, grandtheatre.co.uk.
Yes.
Yeah, or follow us at Wolves Grand. And where can we find you online and follow your work?
Roshni.
I'm on Instagram, Roshni Pink. There's only one Roshni Pink. I'm doing a lot of work personally for South Asian Heritage Month, so I've got my own campaign running.
Great.
And through the campaign, I'm looking at education, I'm looking at celebration, I'm working with the different councils across the West Midlands, loads of different brands to help parents as well, educate the children and stuff like that. So I've got a lot going on and lots of collaborations with different communities. So please go and check out my work on Instagram at Roshni Pink, and on TikTok Roshni Pink, and Facebook. Yeah, you can catch me at sohankailey.com, my website. All everything's on there. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you both. Thank you, Mark. Oh, well, it's been an absolute joy, hasn't it? Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Roshni and Sohan. Make sure to follow all of their work on socials as well. Memory Cafe on the Wolverhampton Grand Theatre. We will see you very soon for our next episode. Bye.